McConnell, and I work in the Yurok Tribe Environmental Program's Food Sovereignty Division. Today we're going to be doing a cooking demonstration that's a little bit different than what we would normally do. We're going to be making a dessert since it's the holiday season, incorporating a vegetable, pumpkin, as well as extra whole grains from oats and other holiday flavors like cranberry, orange, walnuts, and ginger. So let's get started.
Before starting, I preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And then to begin, I combine all my dry ingredients. First, I measure 2 cups of flour, and I do this by taking a heaping measuring cup of flour and then gently leveling it with a butter knife over a bowl for easy cleanup. For these cookies, I'm using the Cup for Cup brand of wholesome gluten-free flour, which is a blend of brown and white rice flours, ground golden flax seeds, rice bran, and xanthan gum. I'm using this to make the cookies gluten-free, of course, but I'm also using this blend specifically because it has whole grains and flax seeds, which both have much more health benefit than just plain wheat flour. I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice mixed with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon because I love spices, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and give that a gentle stir. Then I add my 1 1/3 cup of gluten-free oats for that extra supplement of fiber and nutrients that we love to get from whole grains, and stir again. Next, I'm going to prepare my wet ingredients by first combining 1 cup of softened butter with my sweeteners. I'm using a combination of 1 cup of coconut sugar and half a cup of maple syrup. Personally, I have to be careful about my sugar intake due to various health conditions and risk factors, and I know that this is a concern for most Native people living in the United States today. So one thing I learned about when I was younger was the glycemic index. The glycemic index is a scale from 1 to 100 indicating how quickly and drastically certain foods cause blood sugar spikes. I'll attach some links to resources about the glycemic index if you want to learn more. But even though the sweeteners I'm using are technically lower glycemic than refined white sugar, they're still considered added sugars because, well, they're not occurring naturally in a fruit or vegetable, I'm actually adding them. Normally, sugars that occur naturally in fruits or vegetables don't cause as big of a spike in blood sugar because they are accompanied by the fiber that is also within that fruit or vegetable. Not always, but that's the general idea. So circling back to the oats and the flour that I'm using in this recipe, this is why I'm trying to include whole grains in a dessert recipe, because increasing fiber intake can help regulate some of those effects that these added sugars are having on my body. It doesn't necessarily make these cookies healthy or low sugar, but at least I'll be giving my body something to help while it's digesting something really sweet. I don't want to restrict myself from enjoying desserts on occasion, so when I do have something sweet, I'm still trying to be mindful of how it's nourishing my body too. Because one thing about health is it's all about prevention. When the butter and sweeteners are thoroughly combined and creamy, I'll add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and then 1 cup of pure pureed pumpkin, blend that together, and then I'll add my 1 egg. This is a relatively small amount of pumpkin, but it is nice to know that we're getting at least some vitamin A and extra fiber from this amazing vegetable. I love pumpkin in any form, really. And then I'll go ahead and add the dry ingredients to the wet incrementally, folding and mixing really well as I go until it forms a nice dough like that. When I was blending the wet ingredients with the electric mixer, that would have been the ideal point to add orange zest. But since I forgot, I'm just going to have to add it now and hand mix it and just make sure to mix it really well so that the orange zest still gets incorporated evenly throughout the dough. Then I can add in my additional mix-ins. I'm going to chop up these walnuts, which reminds me of my last cooking video where I added chopped walnuts to a wild rice salad and talked a little bit about how to get the most nutrients out of your walnuts by sprouting them. If you're interested, check out the video. It's a very simple process, or read some of the resources that I've posted below. And then I can just add my dried cranberries and mini chocolate chips. I will give that one last stir to make sure that everything is evenly distributed throughout. And there we have our complete cookie dough. Finally, it's time to scoop and bake. I'm using parchment paper on a baking sheet, so to prevent the paper from sliding around while I'm scooping the cookies, I'm just taking a little bit of the cookie dough and dabbing it on each corner of the paper to stick to the pan, like so. Each cookie is about a bit more than a tablespoon size, and I just use my finger to scoop and plop it onto the sheet. These cookies won't change shape when they're baked. They'll look pretty much the same when they come out as when they went in, so I'm just shaping them to smooth out the bumps and make them all uniform and pretty. To keep the dough from sticking to my fingers too much, I just keep a small bowl of water nearby and dip my fingertips into the water as I shape my cookies. Then I'll just put them into the oven that I preheated and let them bake for 17 minutes. While the cookies are in the oven, I'm going to make a glaze. To do this, I'm combining 1 3/4 cups of powdered sugar with about a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, 3 tablespoons of fresh orange juice, and then I'll mix that until it reaches a liquidy consistency all together like this. And then I'll add my key ingredient, a tablespoon of orange zest. This is what makes it fragrant and the most flavorful. When the cookies are still warm out of the oven, I'll transfer them to a cooling rack and go ahead with the orange glaze. Doing this while they're still warm allows the glaze to run over the top, and then as they cool, it solidifies. I also put a few little pieces of candied ginger on top for garnish, which you can see as I'm plating here with these beautiful orange slices that my coworker made. And there we have it, our pumpkin oat cookies with cranberries, walnuts, and a ginger orange glaze.
So here we have it, a nice holiday cookie that incorporates whole grains, a little bit of a vegetable even, and lots of bright and warm flavors. I wish you could taste them, they're so delicious, but that just means you'll have to make them for yourself. Thank you again to the USDA Agriculture Center here in Eureka, down on South Broadway. One more reminder, this is a community kitchen, so if you ever need use of a commercial kitchen, just reach out to the center and you can organize that. And thank you to my coworker Christine, who helped me so much with this video, filming, washing things, cleaning up, having the wonderful idea for our beautiful display here, and overall just making it a better day altogether. So thank you so much, Christine, and thank you for watching this video, and I hope that if you do try these that you'll enjoy and continue to explore and learn how to add lots of extra little healthy things even to desserts.